One of the things that we tell our candidates when they're doing what's called a knock and talk is that when you knock, your goal is to get 3 vital pieces of information out.
PORCFEST is something that you need to experience to come here. It's a bunch of like-minded, liberty-loving individuals, people who love liberty and freedom, joining one place to create a community of respect and working together for a common cause.
This one's going to be pretty tight.
Seem to be connecting a lot of the celebritarians that are rolling through here with each other. Some of the mainstream political candidates that apparently have decided that PORCFEST is the new campaign stop that they got to hit, and generally have a great time.
Which is this one, do you know? That may not be.
I'm not really knowledgeable. I just have a best friend who's in it. She works at.
Question is, how do we make millennials understand that libertarianism is what they're about, and it offers the best hope for a future that is filled with prosperity, that is filled with freedom, and that is filled with expression of everything they want to do with themselves.
Well, I came to PORCFEST last year and I really enjoyed it. I'm the editor at Bitcoin Not Bombs, and I write for Bitcoin Magazine. I'm doing a couple panels this year, so I was on a Women in Bitcoin panel, and also I'll be doing a Bitcoin Magazine Q&A panel and a couple other events here. So I'll be kind of in some of the events in PORCFEST, but also just hanging out and attending.
It's been a great experience, a lot of conscious people with a lot of good thoughts, and I've been just meeting some of the most interesting people I've ever met, and learning a lot of information.
Booze we could not miss, and we were not 15 minutes there till we were all pissed. That means drunk. Here comes Dave. And
the idea behind the Free State Project is to bring 20,000 liberty-minded people to New Hampshire to bring about a free society, a society where the maximum role of government is really just the protection of your personal liberties, property rights, things like that.
I don't know about this one, but these ones were like anecdotes and stories and stuff. This is just kind of like an overview.
It's nice to see people that have read a lot of books about free market economics and political philosophy, and just attending talks like this is pretty interesting too, when you see mainstream individuals basically talking the language of liberty and advocating for a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin to supplant the fiat currency by the state. That's a great change. Maybe it's a hopeful thing for the future.
Before Ron Paul ever ran for president, we had the Libertarian Party, we had Reason Magazine, and Nick was there. Nick is currently editor of Reason TV. He has an MA and a PhD, a very well-educated individual. He writes for the Daily Beast, Time Magazine, and his latest book with Matt Welch is Declaration of the Independence.
Enter into an already created civilization, a world of freedom and that's based on a devotion to liberty. And what you get here is a sense of deep affection and love among everyone who's here, a very rooted conviction that freedom works, and a determination to illustrate that in practice.
Pro tip, you can rarely go wrong by complimenting your audience. By the way, you're also never seen such a pretty, handsome, and fresh smelling audience. Yeah. All right. So let's get talking, and then I'll shut up as soon as possible, and then we'll have some Q&A hopefully. Because they're shapeshifters, it's because they're interesting and different and incredibly varied, just like our Pop-Tarts just like our produce, just like things like this. Here is some sriracha, again, sriracha mayo. Sriracha pepper sauce was unknown in America in the early 60s. This is going to hurt when it hits you, so I want to make sure. Does anybody ever catch Smith chocolate-covered pretzels last night? They are flips. You know what? A mutant form of pretzel covered with chocolate that is branded with the X-Men. It says mutant milk chocolate. And here, I'll throw this one up. This is Wolverine white fudge. Look at this. What an amazing world we live in, where constantly changing products, goods and services, identities, communities are being formed to fill whatever needs we have.
You feel it. I mean, you feel it almost the instant you get here. You know, a sense of humanity, a sense of love, a sense of benevolence. That's really all it comes down to. And a belief, really, that the voluntary life is the good life.
In a world like this, one that is colorful and constantly changing. I will end it there, and let's have some questions and answers. Of a great world which nobody could have imagined even 10 or 20 years ago. So, yes.
My family, we moved from the Soviet Union to Canada about 16 years ago, and my father says he moved to Canada, he goes into the grocery store and he goes into the milk aisle and he sees kefir. He doesn't see just kefir, he sees 7 different flavors of kefir, this appropriated drink from Eastern Europe, this yogurt drink, and he just stands there in awe, unable to make up a decision for half an hour. And to me, that is a symbolic kind of experience of freedom, and the freedom of choice, and the freedom of capitalist free markets. So thank you for having that as a theme, because that resonates with me 100%.
And remember, you don't even have to eat breakfast. This is a world of choice. It's not about which Pop-Tart to eat. It's, do you want Pop-Tarts, or do you want kefir? Do you want a bacon? Yes, there are certainly more types of bacon in the world than ever before. Or you don't have to eat breakfast at all. Yes?
So earlier, when you first started the talk, you asked everybody whether they thought kids should be educated.
Given the Patriot Act, the Department of Homeland Security, the NDAA, now Snowden revelations, per the recent book that Glenn Greenwald just put out called No Place to Hide, would you say that we're in a police and surveillance state at this point?
Yeah, things are not good all across the board. You know, I think it's horrifying that the government is collecting data on everybody, everywhere, all the time. By the same token, we're more aware of it, and we can kind of push back or live our lives beyond that. It's really important, I think. Part of what I've called libertarianism 3.0, or kind of like the next stage of libertarianism, is to realize that if we spend all of our time focused on the government to the exclusion of getting on with our lives or enjoying anything, we've lost. If you become defined by that object which you hate, you're just as trapped. So enjoy PORCFEST, enjoy the good weather, and don't think about the government for the next 5 minutes if you can.
PORCFEST is affiliated with the Free State Project. This is PORCFEST 11, which means, of course, it's been here for 11 years. The Free State Project is trying to get a critical mass of libertarians, abolitionists, anarchists, and minarchists in one place so that they can have a critical impact as a voting bloc, a political bloc, and a philosophical bloc to move us in an evolution forward to a peaceful society.
Oh, you got the makeup on.
I put eyeliner on it.
That's good. And it's like even further.
Oh, I see him. That is bizarre.
It's the largest gathering of liberty-minded people in the world, so I come here to network and learn to see how other people are trying to remain free in a state of society. It's about gathering together with other liberty-minded people and informing others of the project, the Free State Project, you know, moving to New Hampshire, signing up, moving to New Hampshire, and working together in community to bring liberty to the world.
We're heading to New York for a baseball game, but we decided to stop in at PORCFEST to see what it's all about, and it's awesome. I think we need to have one of these in Alaska, and I think they should have them in every state.
Come to the Porcupine Fest to learn about libertarianism, learn about Bitcoin, learn about the future, and learn something. Wake yourself up.
Yes, wake up.
Hi.
Yeah, like I find advertisers, I get a commission from that. That's pretty much my goal.
I've been having a lot of hope recently about
Last year at PORCFEST, I talked to Carla Garrett, the president of the Free State Project, and she had, convinced me that maybe we need to step into an organizational role and, take care of organizing this year. And, I fell for it. So here we are organizing this year. And honestly, it's been quite a challenge, herding all the cats and making sure that everything comes off, pretty well. And I think overall, it was a very successful event.